Hey guys, Curie6 here for the Aradesh Express, your number one source for Universes Beyond. And today we've got a really good video for you that's been 2 weeks and a lot of 5 a.m. nights staying up late in the making.
I've lost control of my life.
Today we're going to be looking at all 54 legendary creatures from the Universes Beyond Fallout crossover. I'll explain who they are, where they're from, and how accurate their card is to the character. This is going to be a long one, so we've got time codes in the description for you for each card. If you're looking to build a specific commander, check the description for your specific guy. Otherwise, let's jump into it.
Have we waited long enough, guys? I think we have.
Aradesh, the founder. Aradesh is the leader and founder of the settlement known as Shady Sands, which eventually evolves into the New California Republic in later Fallout games. Aradesh is a principled and determined individual who seeks to create a stable and just community in the aftermath of the devastating nuclear war.
I am he. I lead this humble town of Shady Sands.
He is known for his leadership qualities and his commitment to the well-being of his people. His visions and efforts lay the foundation for the formation of the NCR, a major political entity in the post-apocalyptic world of the Fallout series. Despite the hardships and challenges he faces, Aradesh remains steadfast in his commitment to building a better future for his people. His card, Aradesh the Founder, is a pretty good representation of his leadership qualities and his desire to build up and synergize with his army. Arcade Gannon.
Wow. You sound like you really do need some help.
Featured in Fallout New Vegas, Arcade is a skilled doctor and a member of the Followers of the Apocalypse, a group dedicated to providing aid, education, and resources to the people of the Wasteland. Arcade is the son of an Enclave scientist and has strong ties to that organization. Despite his Enclave connection, Arcade distances himself from his father's legacies and aligns with the Followers of the Apocalypse, working to use his medical skills for the betterment of the Wasteland. Players can recruit Arcade Gannon as a companion. He is known for his intelligence, wit, and insights into the post-apocalyptic world. He's also a good LGBTQ representation in the series, or so I've been told by my friends who are of that persuasion. Arcade's personal quest, for Auld Lang Syne, reveals more about his background with the Enclave and allows him to get closure on his past by interacting with the remnants of the now destroyed Enclave his father was a part of. As far as card accuracy goes, it isn't bad. Arcade does go on a quest of discovery and make use of the past to build a better future. I think he's pretty accurate. Ruzka, Terror of Point Lookout. Ruzka the Wonder Bear was a former star attraction of Point Lookout, known for her ball dancing abilities. After the Great War, Ruzka was ghoulified by the radiation-soaked marshes of Point Lookout, surviving over 200 years in the remote northwestern corner of Point Lookout. Amusing herself with a big red ball dating back to her circus days and preying on the unwary swamp folk, Ruzka is incredibly dangerous to anyone who happens upon her. As far as the card for Ruzka goes, a unique card wasn't made for her and she's the only legendary reskin in the set, so as far as reskins go, I don't think you could have picked a better character for Ruzka to be. Good card. Butch DeLoria, Tunnel Snake.
Look, I'm not looking to rumble with you. How about we just stay out of each other's business, like usual?
A super memorable character from Fallout 3, Butch is a resident of Vault 101, the same vault where the player character begins their journey from in the game. Butch is the leader of a gang called the Tunnel Snakes, who are known for their leather jackets with a snake on them and greaser style. Butch's famous line, "Tunnel Snakes rule," has become a memorable quote in the Fallout community.
Tunnel Snakes rule!
Awesome!
Despite his tough exterior, players can learn more about Butch's character, background, and potential for personal growth through interactions and choices made throughout the game. I love Butch's card here as it totally encapsulates who he is and how he grows stronger with the other Tunnel Snakes around him. Absolute banger. Kaisar, Legion's Emperor.
You're the courier who caused so much trouble for my legion, and yet you dare come before me.
Kaisar is from Fallout New Vegas. His real name is Edward Sallow, and he is the charismatic and brutal leader of Caesar's Legion, a powerful faction in the Mojave Wasteland. He is known for his strategic prowess and ruthless methods in achieving and maintaining control over territories. He is also known for his intelligence, but it is well known that there are mole rats smarter than him, so I call that into question. Caesar has a vision of creating an orderly civilization in the Wasteland, but it comes at the cost of inflicting slavery on his subjects and murdering those who disobey him.
After I failed Caesar and he had me burned alive, thrown into the Grand Canyon.
As far as his card goes, it's another solid and accurate representation of a major player in the Fallout universe. His brutality and desire to win totally coming through on every front. Cait, Cage Brawler. Cait is from Fallout 4, and she's a potential companion. Cait is initially found in combat at the combat zone in the Commonwealth. Cait struggles with addiction to chems and servitude in the combat zone. The player has the opportunity to recruit her as a companion by helping her escape the cage fighting arena. Traveling with Cait allows players to learn more about her background and her personal quest, benign intervention, delves into her past and allows players to assist her in overcoming her chem addiction.
Supposed to be a vault somewhere out here. A place called Vault 95. I've heard that Vault Tech used it for some kind of social experiment. Stuck a bunch of junkies inside to poke and prod. Well, they supposedly had some special method to clean up those blokes in there. Some kind of a machine or something. If we could get inside, maybe that machine could help me.
She's a fan favorite character from Fallout 4 and a truly memorable one for her touching personal quest, and I really don't feel like that really shines through on this card mechanically. It's not bad, it's not good, it's fine, I guess.
Didn't say I'm at me best, but something's changed.
Cass, Hand of Vengeance.
Got his name, got this pendant, and that's about it. Gift for my dad, along with my name. Rose of Sharon Cassidy.
Cass, or Rose of Sharon Cassidy, is from Fallout New Vegas. She's a caravan merchant who is skilled with firearms, and Cass is the daughter of John Cassidy, a companion in Fallout 2.
Well now, I ain't seen you around before, stranger. Name's Cassidy.
First seen at the Mojave Outpost, Cass is dealing with troubles related to her caravan business. She becomes a potential companion for the player, joining them on their journey through the Mojave Wasteland. Cass has a personal quest titled Heartache by the Number, which involves investigating the troubles faced by her caravan company and getting revenge on those who wronged her. Her card being based around equipment is really cool, and her scavenging up the remains of her caravan to re-equip herself for the road of vengeance is a pretty neat idea. I feel like it's missing a little something, but I can't put my finger on it. Either way, the card is great.
Nobody's that long. Not even Long Johnson, and he had a fucking long thus the name.
Codsworth, Handy Helper.
I spent the first 10 years trying to keep the floors waxed, but nothing gets out nuclear fallout from vinyl wood. Nothing!
Codsworth is a Mr. Handy model robot in Fallout 4. He's one of the first characters encountered in the game and is found in the player's home after the bombs dropped. Codsworth was the player's butler robot and had the unique feature of audibly being able to say the player's name in-game.
Mr. Vaquero, Mr. Bartosa, Mr. Boom, Mr. Django.
Codsworth survives over 200 years, diligently continuing his task despite the devastation around him. When the player emerges from the vault and returns to Sanctuary Hills, they may find Codsworth still operational and eager to assist as a companion. He's a pretty simple character, and his card being based around helping commanders is pretty on theme. I think this one is great.
Mr. Fury.
Colonel Autumn.
You again. I can't say I'm surprised. You and your ilk seem hell-bent on destroying everything our government has worked to achieve.
Augustus Autumn appears in Fallout 3 and serves as the primary antagonist. Colonel Autumn is a high-ranking officer in the Enclave and is initially encountered in Vault 87, hunting the player down. He, along with the rest of the Enclave, plan to control the water purifier located in Jefferson Memorial, thus giving them control over the capital wasteland. Colonel Autumn is a staunch supporter of the Enclave's vision for the wasteland, and his decisions and actions have a direct impact on the player's journey and the overall fate of the capital wasteland. His card does feel like it sort of gets what he's about. He's willing to do whatever it takes to see the Enclave succeed. I think it's fine. It doesn't stand out as a one-to-one of his in-game personality, but I do like it. Commander Sofia Daguerre.
My name is Commander Sofia Daguerre. I'm an astronaut with the USSA. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Sofia was an astronaut who was in space during the Great War. Her and her comrades were forced into hibernation, not unlike the player in Fallout 4, and awoke after the bombs dropped. Her ship crash landed in Appalachia, where 76 takes place, and she is apparently a big old nerd who likes comics and video games.
In the meantime, I picked up an issue of The Unstoppables from a visiting trader the other day. Maybe it'll help me relax.
I think her card's a pretty solid representation of the events that take place in Fallout 76, with her having flash and her ability crash landing, destroying things, and creating junk. Seems solid. Curie, Emergent Intelligence. Curie is from Fallout 4, and she starts out as a Miss Nanny model robot. Curie can be found in Vault 81 and acts as the Vault's medical robot. Curie's consciousness can be transferred into a synth body turning her into a potential companion for the player character.
What is your name?
My designation is Contagions, Vulnerability, Robotic, Infirmary Engineer. Or Curie.
Curie is known for being the most adorable character on Earth, both in and out of her Miss Nanny form.
Oh, Japanese. Watashi wa kuri desu. You know, I think this robot is broken.
And her card sort of captures that. She does body snatch a synth and gain her physical attributes, so I guess that makes her abilities make sense, but I have never seen her as a combat-oriented character. I would have rather seen her as a flip card, but the card we are given is a pretty decent representation of her. Desdemona, Freedom's Edge.
It's clear you're not with the Institute, but who told you how to contact us?
Desdemona is from Fallout 4 and leads the Railroad faction. The Railroad is an organization dedicated to helping synths, or synthetic beings, escape from the Institute, a technologically advanced and secretive organization in the Commonwealth. Players first encounter Desdemona when they join the Railroad or during the main quest line involving synths. Her character is central to the moral and ethical themes explored in Fallout 4, particularly regarding the treatment of synths, and she is a freedom fighter type of character. Her card is pretty evocative of this, and her ability to help creatures and artifact creatures in your graveyard escape is pretty cool. She's definitely a top tier card for representation.
Seriously don't know, do you? I'm Desdemona, and I'm the leader of the Railroad.
Dogmeat, Ever Loyal. Dogmeat is the name given to several dogs in the Fallout universe, and they are companions for the player. The Dogmeat of Universes Beyond is from Fallout 4, and is a German Shepherd. He can be found at the start of the game, near the gas station. Dogmeat is a reference to the movie A Boy and His Dog, and there's not much else to say other than he's a very good boy. His card is pretty cool and is evocative of what a dog does, that being able to play fetch and dig for treasure. Solid card, but the aura thing feels a bit weird. Dr. Madison Li.
Look, this is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people.
Madison Li appears both in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. In Fallout 3, Dr. Li is a scientist who initially works with the Rivet City science team, studying advanced technology and conducting experiments. In Fallout 4, Dr. Madison Li makes a return, having joined the Institute, a technologically advanced and secretive organization in the Commonwealth. She's involved in the Institute research and is responsible for the development of various advanced technologies. The player encounters her as part of the Institute's questline. In both games, she can be recruited to the Brotherhood of Steel to help reinstate Liberty Prime as a threat to their enemies.
You neglected to mention that I'd be asked to work on Liberty Prime. I've been down this road with the Brotherhood before. Why would I make the same mistake twice?
Her character bridges the narrative and helps with continuity between the two games and contributes to the overall storyline. Her ability to use and create energy counters is very evocative of her being the linchpin in most scientific pursuits in Fallout 3 and 4. Very cool card. Duchess, Wayward Tavernkeep. Duchess is a character from Fallout 76. Before the Great War, she was a nurse and eventually became a chem dealer who was on the radar of every governmental agency who was tasked with dealing with such things. She somehow survived the bombs dropping.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
And then left the Appalachian area for some reason. When Duchess returned, she traded all her fortunes to open a tavern, and that is where she's at during the events of Fallout 76. Her card definitely evokes her status as a vendor and a tough wastelander, so I think it feels fine, if not a little surface level. ED-E, Lonesome, Eyebot. ED-E, pronounced Eddie, is a companion character in Fallout New Vegas. Eddie is a small enclave Eyebot, initially found in the Mojave Wasteland near Prim. The player can choose to repair and upgrade Eddie, and doing so unlocks its abilities and improves its fighting ability. Eddie is a lot like an R2-D2 type of character, but she really reminds me more of BB-8. Very cute, and just the beeping and booping is fantastic. Eddie can store items for the player, repair weapons and armor, and provides a unique perk. The Eyebot has a lot of history tied to it, and its origins come from the pre-war Enclave, and it's even a main character in the Fallout New Vegas add-on Lonesome Road. At the beginning of Lonesome Road, the player receives a mysterious broadcast from Ulysses, a character with a significant connection to the player character. Throughout Lonesome Road, Eddie provides information and is crucial in understanding the backstory of Curie and Ulysses. Eddie's card is evocative of his drive to find out who it is, and its insatiable lust for battle it seems to have whenever I'm trying to sneak past an enemy without being noticed.
Oh, now you hit me with a caution, huh? Oh, Eddie, yep, you just...
The sacrifice ability also feels like a good callback to the ending of Lonesome Road. Elder Arthur Maxson. Arthur is a descendant of the legendary Roger Maxson, founder of the Brotherhood of Steel. His father, a high-ranking paladin serving just outside the New California Republic, was killed in battle, and his mother, Lady Maxson, sent the boy out east to be raised under the tutelage of the then-respected Elder Owyn Lyons from Fallout 3. Now Squire Maxson, Arthur was a timid boy, which is the main reason his mother sent him to the Citadel to toughen up. The Arthur Maxson we see depicted on the card is his later appearance in Fallout 4. Arthur Maxson has become a central figure in that game, taking on the role of Elder of the Brotherhood of Steel. He is a charismatic and determined leader who seeks to restore the Brotherhood to its original ideals of preserving and protecting technology.
I don't intend to debate this any longer. Either you execute Dance, or I will not.
Maxson is known for his strong stance against synths and the Institute, and has a history of feats such as taking down Deathclaw on his own when he was just a boy. His card is evocative of the leader he is, willing to sacrifice to accomplish his goals, and his overall cool demeanor. Elder Owyn Lyons. Elder Lyons is from Fallout 3. He serves as the Elder of the East Coast chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel. Elder Lyons is an important and influential figure in the Capital Wasteland. Elder Lyons is known for his more altruistic and humanitarian approach compared to the traditional isolationist stance of the Brotherhood of Steel. Under his leadership, the Brotherhood becomes involved in various charitable and protective activities, including fighting against super mutants and aiding the local population. Despite criticism from within the Brotherhood, Lyons remains committed to his goal of helping the people of the Capital Wasteland. His card does not necessarily depict what he's really about, but as a leader of the Brotherhood of Steel, he definitely has a penchant for technology, so I guess it's fine, if not a bit basic. Hancock, Ghoulish Mayor. Hancock is from Fallout 4 and he is the Ghoul Mayor of Goodneighbor, a settlement known for its tolerance of ghouls and other outcasts. Hancock is a charismatic and laid-back individual, known for his open-mindedness and support for personal freedoms.
A tour of the town. Much as I'd love to see the town again, we're just passing through. You can bet I'll be keeping you in mind though.
Hancock can become a potential companion for the player character in Fallout 4, and when the player travels with him, he really appreciates you making choices that evoke kindness, generosity, and tolerance. He's also associated with the use of chems, particularly jet.
Finally found this experimental radiation drug. Only one of its kind left, and only one hit. Oh man, the high was so worth it.
Another fun fact about Hancock is that he's voiced by the same person who voices Curie from the Like a Dragon or Yakuza series in Japanese.
これが探し求めていた人生だ。あんたのような仲間と一緒に人助けをすること。常に人から何かを託され、常に何かを守らなきゃならない。
His card is really cool and it shows how he likes to help ghouls, and his Undying is a callback to how he wants to become a ghoul to live forever. Top tier card. Harold and Bob, First Numens. Bob is a character that shows up in Fallout 1, 2, and 3, and he is a fan favorite. He was a child as the Great War began, and he ran into a vault. After his vault opened, over a decade later, he became a trader throughout California and became well known and respected in the biggest settlement in California, the Hub. At some point, he met a man named Richard Gray, and the two would decide to go get an adventuring party together and investigate the source of a new threat to the wasteland, super mutants. When they finally reached the source, Mariposa military base, the two had lost most of their crew and were exposed to FEV. This mutated Harold into a ghoul-like mutant. After this, he returned to the Hub, but now he had lost everything and people shunned him for his new, ghastly appearance. The rest of Fallout 1 happens, and Fallout 2 reintroduces Harold as having left the Hub and now living in a settlement called Gecko, some 100 years later. Gecko was a mostly ghoul-filled settlement that is now being harassed by the new, biggest settlement in California, Vault City. Harold is mediating things between Gecko and Vault City, and depending on what action are taken by the player, the two settlements could live in harmony. Between the events of Fallout 2 and 3, Harold would travel from the west coast to the east coast and end up in the Capital Wasteland. I have failed to mention Harold's most distinguishing feature as of yet, and that is the tree growing out of his head due to the FEV exposure, and he named that tree Bob. In Fallout 1, the tree is just a little sprout, but by Fallout 2, it is much larger and noticeable. By the time Harold reaches Fallout 3, Bob is completely grown and immobilized Harold, rooting him in the ground. At some point, a cult is formed around Harold, and this is what is depicted in his card art.
Well, you're quite clever. See, Bob used to ride around on top of my head. Sunk his roots right in there, you know. Well, eventually he got bigger than me, and then I pretty much ended up inside.
His abilities are reminiscent of his ending where he asks the player to kill him, and if so, the player is rewarded with a perk. This card is really cool, and I only wish Harold had Defender instead of Vigilance since he cannot move. Ian the Reckless. Ian is a character in the original Fallout game and can be recruited as a companion by the player character. Ian is a resident of Shady Sands, the first major settlement the player encounters, and he's initially found in the entrance guarding the town. He is proficient with small guns and can be helpful in combat situations. However, Ian has become somewhat infamous among Fallout 1 players as he will regularly shoot the player and friendly characters for no reason. Before his time guarding Shady Sands, he was working for the Crimson Caravan Company, and during one of his missions, he was sent to Shady Sands and was shot by raiders and stayed in the small settlement to recover. As far as his card goes, it does absolutely depict how much of a danger to himself and others he is, and I think it's a really good card, if not really funny. James, Wandering Dad. James is the player character's dad in Fallout 3 and is voiced by Liam Neeson. I bring this up first because most people in the fandom will just call him Liam Neeson, and some, like myself, genuinely forget that his name is James sometimes.
I know there's a lot going on right now. This is all very sudden. I just wanted to say that I'm proud of you. You're a good person, and it shows.
At the beginning of Fallout 3, James is a scientist living in Vault 101. The player begins the game as James's child, and the story kicks off when James abruptly leaves the vault, prompting the lone wanderer to follow in his footsteps. Throughout the game, the player learns more about James's background, his scientific pursuits, and his connection to Project Purity, a water purification project with the potential to bring clean water to the capital wasteland. James's actions have a profound impact on the overall narrative, and slowly, the player will realize they aren't the main character from Fallout 3, Liam Neeson is. His card evokes how the player must look for clues to follow him, and his activate ability is probably a reference to how he activates Project Purity to game end himself. Jason Bright, Glowing Prophet.
Hello, Wanderer. Please forgive us our humble surroundings. Our true home awaits us in the far beyond.
Jason Bright is a character from Fallout New Vegas, specifically found in the rocket testing facility known as Repcon. He is the leader of a group of ghouls who call themselves the Bright Brotherhood. Jason and his followers are on a quest to reach the far beyond, which they believe is a place that they can achieve transcendence and escape the hardships of the wasteland.
We wish to escape the barbarity of the wasteland, especially the violence and bigotry of its human inhabitants. The Creator has promised to my flock a new land, a place of safety and healing, a paradise in the far beyond.
The player can work for Jason Bright to help his flock reach the great beyond during the quest, Come Fly With Me. This is one of the longest and most memorable quests during the early parts of New Vegas, which has you completing many varied tasks to help the ghoul cult reach their goals. Jason's card does evoke his cult leader-like status and desire for more followers, and his supposed ability to bestow power upon them. Definitely a cool card. Kellogg, Dangerous Mind.
The thing about happiness is you only know you had it when it's gone. I mean, you may think to yourself that you're happy, but you don't really believe it.
Conrad Kellogg is from Fallout 4 and plays a major role in the first half of the game's main storyline. He is a former Commonwealth Minuteman and now an Institute operative, and he is the man who kidnaps the player character's infant son, Sean, at the beginning of the game and kills their spouse in front of them. The player will encounter Kellogg during the Reunions quest, where they will track him down and retrieve information about Sean's whereabouts. Kellogg is a thief and crafty, and his card really captures that mechanically with his ability to steal creatures. Also, fun fact, it appears Kellogg's art depicts the male version of the Soul Survivor, and that would lead me to believe that the MTG Fallout crossover has decided that the Soul Survivor is canonically a woman. Neat. Legate Lanius, Caesar's Ace.
Caesar's will is the will of the Legion and the West. All beneath the flag of the Great Bear exist to test the strength of the Legion.
Legate Lanius, commonly referred to as the Monster of the East, is from Fallout New Vegas.
Monster of the East, huh? Well, I've got the Monster of the West in my holster right now. Hope I get to introduce them.
He serves as the military commander and one of the most principal leaders of Caesar's Legion. He's one of the toughest enemies in the game and is known for his martial prowess and ruthlessness in battle. Lanius is often referred to as a symbol of the Legion's military might, and his presence strikes fear into the heart of those who oppose Caesar's forces. Before being assimilated into the Legion, he was a member of the Hydebarks tribe. During his conquest of all tribes in Arizona, Caesar had his legion surround the Hydebarks' main camp, their chief then deciding to surrender rather than be exterminated. The man, currently known as Lanius, was so pissed off at this, he lashed out at his own tribe, finally subdued after killing 15 of his own warriors. Caesar, seeing this, offered Lanius to join him as his right hand, and then forged him his iconic mask, and he would go down in history as the most formidable enemy of the NCR. His card really doesn't do a fantastic job of portraying this, but honestly, I'm just glad to see him at all. Hey guys, hope you find this video useful so far. And if you are, and you think a friend might find this useful, go ahead and share it to them. Universes Beyond can be quite impenetrable sometimes, and Fallout especially has a lot of lore to it. Anyway, I'm not going to hold you up, let's jump back into it. Liberty Prime, Recharged. Liberty Prime is a massive, humanoid combat robot in the Fallout series, designed and utilized by the Brotherhood of Steel. It is a powerful weapon created for military purposes, and it makes its notable appearances in both Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. In Fallout 3, Liberty Prime is a key asset for the Brotherhood of Steel during the Enclave conflict. The player aids in its activation and accompanies it to Jefferson Memorial during the final stages of the game's main quest.
We will not fear the Red Menace.
Liberty Prime then returns in Fallout 4, where it is reconstructed and plays a key role in the Brotherhood's campaign against the Institute.
Embrace democracy, or you will be eradicated. Obstruction eliminated.
The player assists in its resurrection and witnesses its destructive power as it marches through the Commonwealth, much like it did in the Capital Wasteland in Fallout 3. Liberty Prime is one of the most powerful weapons in the series, if not outright the most powerful, and has become iconic for both its implementation in both games it appears in, and its very quotable anti-communist dialogue that it blasts from loudspeakers installed into it. I would argue that I do not believe this card feels like the game-ending threat it needs to be, but I do like that you have to pay a cost to operate it as an homage to getting it up and running for the final battles of Fallout 3 and 4. I don't know, I really wish this guy was either a little bigger or had some protection to represent the threat he is in games. Or just a reskin of Blightsteel Colossus. Lily Bowen, Raging Grandma.
Jimmy! Little Jimmy! My, how you're grown up! So good of you to come visit your grandma.
Lily Bowen is from Fallout New Vegas, and she resides in Jacobstown. Lily is a Nightkin, a type of mutant created by the Master's Army in the original Fallout. Nightkin are stealth boy addicts, and prolonged use of the invisible camouflage enabling devices have left most of them insane, Lily not being an exception. Her quest involves her desire to find a remedy for the mental and physical tolls that prolonged stealth boy usage has taken on her and the other Nightkin.
Are you sure, dearie? Taking my medicine all the time makes me feel woozy.
She is also notable for having episodes of remembering her time as a human and mistaking the player character as her grandson, Jimmy.
My. This reminds me of when I was a girl. Right over there would have been where your grandpa and I had our first kiss.
Her card depicts her rage growing in relation to her growing schizophrenia, and the removal of counters is her healing after she receives the medicine to help remedy her condition, while making her weaker in combat. This is a solid depiction.
Her memories dulled by the pills. She cast aside the recording of her grandchildren, no longer remembering its significance.
McCready, Lamplight Mayor. McCready is from both Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, but the card here is solidly depicting his time in Fallout 3. Little Lamplight is a settlement of children in the Capital Wasteland, and McCready serves as the mayor of Little Lamplight.
Hold it right there, mister! Don't take another step, or we'll blow your head off.
He is a young boy who has taken on the leadership role in the absence of adults. McCready is known for his assertive and childish, rude personality.
I'm McCready. I run Little Lamplight because they made me the mayor, and I don't like strangers or mungos.
In Fallout 4, McCready can become a potential companion to the player, and his character has developed since the events of Fallout 3. But his Fallout 4 depiction isn't much of a character, and this isn't really relevant to the card here, so we'll focus on his Fallout 3 depiction for card evaluation. McCready loves helping other kids and shunning adults, so I feel like the power toughness ability works great here. Moira Brown, Guide Author. Moira Brown is from Fallout 3. She is the eccentric owner of Craterside Supply, a store in Megaton, and she's effectively the second main quest line in Fallout 3.
Good to meet you! I'm Moira Brown. I run Craterside Supply. But what I really do is mostly tinkering and research.
Moira is known for her boundless enthusiasm and insane requests she gives.
Here, take a few radiation chems as my little way of saying, I'm sorry I twisted your DNA like a kitten with a ball of yarn.
Having the player run into active minefields and explore supermarkets filled with hostiles. Players find Moira early in the game when they visit Megaton, and she'll offer the player a series of optional dangerous tasks to help her complete the Wasteland Survival Guide, a book that gives tips and tricks to survive the harsh conditions of the wastes. It's worth noting that if the player blows up Megaton during their gameplay, she will still survive as a ghoul and be able to offer her questline.
Oh, don't be silly. Why would you blow up our town? You're talking crazy talk. Well, okay, as long as you're sorry. But I expect you to apologize to everyone else in town, okay? And don't do it again.
I think her card is an amazing representation of her character in Fallout 3, both mechanically by sending the player out to complete dangerous tasks, this given life by her attack trigger ability, and the art really depicts her crazy energy. Love this card. Mr. House, President and CEO.
This meeting has been a long time coming, hasn't it? You've come a long ways, literally, and I suspect figuratively as well.
Robert Edwin House, often simply referred to as Mr. House, is a significant character in Fallout New Vegas and the Fallout universe overall.
I am Robert Edwin House, President, CEO, and sole proprietor of the New Vegas Strip.
He is the enigmatic and powerful owner of the New Vegas Strip, ruling over the region with an iron fist from his secure headquarters within the Lucky 38 casino.
Before the Great War of 2077, I was the founder, president, and CEO of Robco Industries. Don't let the video screens and computer terminals fool you. I'm flesh and blood, not silicone.
Mr. House is a pre-war businessman who managed to survive the nuclear apocalypse by preserving himself in a life-sustaining chamber within Lucky 38. His army of heavily armed Securitrons have allowed him to maintain control over New Vegas for centuries. Players have the option to work with Mr. House and help him build New Vegas into a utopia if he is to be believed, and pave the way for mankind to not only get back to the living conditions they had pre-war, but also go far beyond technologically.
Good things will come your way.
Mr. House is known for his pragmatic and calculating nature, and also his love for Vegas and gambling. His card definitely depicts the gambling, but I don't know if it depicts the ambitions of a centuries-year-old mind who rules the greatest city in the wasteland with an iron fist. Nick Valentine, Private Eye. Nick Valentine is from Fallout 4. He's a Generation 2 synth, an advanced type of synthetic human, and serves as a private investigator in Diamond City.
So you think this institute is responsible?
Well, they're the boogeymen of the Commonwealth. Something goes wrong, everyone blames them. Those early model synths of theirs strip whole towns for parts. Worst of all, no one knows why they do it, what their plan is, or where they are. Not even me. And I'm a synth myself.
Nick Valentine is known for his distinctive appearance, which includes a trench coat and a face with visible mechanical components. Nick Valentine's character is unique because he is a pre-war personality transferred into a synth body. The original Nick was also a police detective named Nick Valentine before the war, and after his transformation into a synth, he retained his memories and investigative skills. Players can choose to have Nick as a companion, and his insights into the world, both pre-war and post-war, provide valuable perspectives throughout the game.
You took down 4 guys by yourself?
I didn't have to. Back then, synths were even more of an unknown quantity than they are today. I told them I was rigged to explode and started going beep, beep, beep. Hardest part of that rescue was keeping from laughing as they climbed over each other to get away.
I'm not exactly sure what his card has to do with Nick's character, but it's a cool card, I guess. Paladin Dance, Steel Maverick. In Fallout 4, Paladin Dance is a Brotherhood of Steel soldier and a potential companion for the player character. He is introduced early game and plays a significant role in the Brotherhood's operations in the Commonwealth.
I'm Paladin Dance, Brotherhood of Steel.
Dance is a Brotherhood loyalist, committed to the organization's mission of preserving and protecting advanced technology. He wears a suit of power armor and is a formidable combatant. He also wholeheartedly supports the Brotherhood of Steel's anti-synth sentiment. This is relevant due to the fact that Dance is unknowingly a synth himself. Depending on the player's actions, This fact can be found out, and Dance can be executed willingly or spared, as it is very clear that he had no idea he was a synth and never hindered the Brotherhood of Steel's operations in any way.
And I thank you for it. Whatever you decide. Know that I'm going to my grave with no anger and no regrets.
Touching. Either you execute Dance, or I will.
He would be willing to give his life for the Brotherhood of Steel, and this is depicted very nicely in his ability and flavor text. Paladin Elizabeth Taggarty. Elizabeth Taggarty is a character in the Fallout universe specifically known for her role in the Brotherhood of Steel. She is already dead in all playable games, but her legacy and the events she was involved with are referenced in Fallout 76. Taggarty was a lieutenant in the United States Army, and after the Great War, she became one of the founding members of the Appalachian chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel. The events surrounding Taggarty and her comrades are explored in the Steel Dawn and Steel Rain questlines in Fallout 76. These questlines delve into the history of the Brotherhood in Appalachia, and the challenges they faced, including conflicts with the Scorched and internal struggles. While players do not directly interact with Elizabeth Taggarty in the traditional sense, her story and impact of her leadership are significant aspects of how Fallout 76 narrative plays out. It is hard to glean if Taggarty's card is an amazing depiction of her, but the card is going to be a lot of fun. Piper Wright, Public Reporter.
I got orders not to let you in, Miss Piper. I'm sorry. I'm just doing my job.
Ooh, just doing your job. Protecting Diamond City means keeping me out, is that it? Oh, look, it's the scary reporter.
Piper is from Fallout 4 and serves as a potential companion for the player character. She's a reporter and the owner of Public Occurrences newspaper in Diamond City. Piper is known for her investigative journalism and her commitment to uncovering the truth.
A night doesn't go by, I'm not afraid some Institute drone will decide today's the day to pay old Piper and family a visit. People need to know the truth. Even when it's bad. Especially when it's bad. Sure, it can be scary, knowing what's really out there.
Additionally, Piper has a personal quest titled Story of the Century, which delves into her efforts to uncover the truth about the Institute, which closely coincides with the player's own interest in finding the Institute to retrieve their lost son, Sean. Piper is a fan-favorite character in the Fallout community, even among those of us who aren't the biggest fans of the later Fallout installments. Her lively personality, dedication to journalism, and her commitment to justice and truth make her stand out as pretty endearing. Her card definitely expresses her tunnel vision on reporting, even in the most inappropriate of times, and her art is just amazing. I would have liked to see her as an Azorius or Demir card, but this is still a fire depiction. Preston Garvey, Minuteman.
So what do you plan on doing about the jet problem in our community? How about the settlement problem? Another settlement needs our help. I'll mark it on your map.
Preston Garvey is from Fallout 4 and plays a key role in the game's early quest. He is a member of the Commonwealth Minutemen, a faction dedicated to helping settlements and protecting the people of the Commonwealth Wasteland. Players first encounter Preston Garvey in the Museum of Freedom in Concord.
I've got a group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost through the door. Grab that laser musket and help us, please!
Where he is leading a group of Minutemen against a group of raiders and a Deathclaw.
Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minutemen. Protect the people at a minute's notice. That was the idea. So I joined up, wanted to make a difference. And I did, but things fell apart. Now it looks like I'm the last Minuteman left standing.
After the initial encounter, he informs the player about the dire situation of the Minutemen and asks for their assistance. While Preston is known for a sense of duty and commitment to helping others, he has become the subject of jokes and memes due to the frequency with which he gives out settlement-related quests, often leading to the phrase, "Another settlement needs your help," becoming a meme within the Fallout 4 community.
I've had word from a settlement asking for help.
As far as his card goes, this is one of the more interesting and definitely one of the more powerful. His ability is very evocative of one thing he cares about, which is taking over lands. Me personally, I hate this man, but I love this card. Raul, Troubleshooter. Raul Teeda is a companion in Fallout New Vegas and is voiced by Machete himself, Danny Trejo. Raul was a vaquero in his pre-war life and later became a mechanic after the Great War. Raul can be found in Black Mountain, where he's being held captive by Nightkin. Raul's personal quest, Old School Ghoul, explores his struggles with embracing his ghoul identity and his past as a vaquero.
Alrighty then. I'll just head out, alone, by myself, into the dangerous waste. Anything's better than staying here.
Players can help him come to terms with his history and find a sense of purpose. A fun fact about Raul in New Vegas is that Danny Trejo's audio files are at a lower volume than normal, and it's hard to hear him sometimes.
Hey, I'm one of you. Don't eat me. Eat the smooth skin. Oh, sorry, boss.
Anyway, this card is really cool mechanically, and the art is great, but I feel it's weird how much he cares about the graveyard. But the idea of him using things from the bin or repairing them is pretty cool, and that's the skill he's most proficient at in game anyway. Red Death, Shipwrecker. The Red Death is a legendary sea monster in the Fallout 4 expansion Far Harbor. It's part of the quest line The Great Hunt, which is given by the Mariner, a character in the town of Far Harbor. In the quest, the Mariner asks the player to help organize a team to take down and kill the Red Death, a creature that has been terrorizing the waters around Far Harbor. The Red Death is described as a massive and extremely dangerous sea creature, and its legend has grown over time, with various exaggerated stories circulating among the people of Far Harbor. However, when eventually encountered, it is revealed that it's just a Mirelurk and is nothing really special. The card is pretty evocative of what the Red Death is, and I think it's a cool homage. Its goat ability representing its ability to drive the Mariner to hunt it down. Rex, Cyber-Hound. Rex is a cybernetic dog from Fallout New Vegas. He is part of the King's entourage in Freeside, a location in the New Vegas wasteland. The King is the leader of a gang of Elvis impersonators known as the Kings, and Rex serves as both a loyal companion and a symbol of the gang's strength. Rex's backstory involves being a pre-war cyber dog, a type of robot dog, and has been modified and repaired over the years, and a Legion war dog, which we can verify using the Legion branding on his side. When the player encounters Rex, they find he's in need of medical attention due to a brain condition.
And they said his brain is bad or something. They said they don't have the tools to help him. Eventually, he's gonna get worse. I don't know what to do.
Rex's ability to give brain counters to things and gain abilities is a great homage to how the old dog can have his brain replaced in game and learn new tricks. Rose, Cutthroat Raider. Rose is a Miss Nanny robot from Fallout 76 who has taken on the personality of a raider. Players can encounter her at the top of the world, a location in the Appalachian region. Her behavior and voice are based off of a long-deceased raider named Rosalind Jeffries, the mistress of former Cutthroats leader David Thorpe. Also, fun fact, the person who voices Rose is actually the same person who voices Rebecca from Cyberpunk Edgerunners.
Well, this is a little awkward. Not what either one of us expected, eh? Anyway,
I'm Rebecca. I hear you're joining up with Maine's crew. Cheers! Be seeing you around then.
Rose is programmed with Rosalind's chem addiction and will pretend to get high off of them. However, this is impossible due to the fact that she is a robot. Rose is a relatively simple character, and her card depicts that while still being pretty interesting. Sentinel Sarah Lyons. Sarah Lyons is from Fallout 3 and is a member of the Brotherhood of Steel faction and daughter of Elder Owyn Lyons. Elder Lyons leads the East Coast Brotherhood of Steel, and Sarah Lyons serves as the Brotherhood of Steel's Sentinel, a high-ranking combat officer. Under her father's leadership, the Brotherhood in the Capital Wasteland takes a more altruistic approach, actively engaging in humanitarian efforts and combat against the super mutants and other threats. Battle-hardened and ready to defend the innocent, I feel her card captures her essence very well. Sierra, Nuka's biggest fan. Sierra Petrovita is from Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, and she is an enthusiast of Nuka-Cola, a parody of real-life Coca-Cola. She can be found at the Nuka-Cola Museum located in Fallout 3.
Sierra Petrovita's the name. Good to see a new face in Girder Shade. I take it you're here to check out my Nuka-Cola collection and take the tour.
And in Nuka World in Fallout 4.
The name's Sierra Petrovita. I traveled all the way from the Capital Wasteland to visit this place. Maybe you've heard about my Nuka-Cola Museum?
The character satirizes the consumerist culture of pre-war America, showcasing the over-the-top advertising and propaganda that was prevalent before the nuclear apocalypse. Sierra's character embodies the optimism and cheerfulness often associated with 1950s Americana, which is a prominent theme throughout the Fallout series. Her card is also a decent representation of her character, especially when it comes to her ability, the Nuka-Cola Challenge. The challenge in-game involves locating and acquiring different types of Nuka-Cola and bringing these rare drinks to Sierra, and the card definitely shows her love for the drink. Strong, Brutish Thespian. Strong is a super mutant and potential companion in Fallout 4. Super mutants are mutated humans, and they often serve as low intelligence, anti-human, monstrous beings in the Fallout series, especially in 3 and 4. However, Strong is unique in that he is open to forming companionship with humans.
Respect, yes. Strong respect human. Human fight good. Human help Strong.
Found in Trinity Tower, to recruit Strong as a companion, the player must free him from his imprisonment and gain his approval by making decisions that align with his super mutant views. Strong is known for his desire to find the milk of human kindness, which he believes to be a tangible object, but is actually a phrase that originates from William Shakespeare's play, Macbeth.
Hope we find milk of human kindness soon.
The expression meaning the innate compassion, empathy, and kindness that humans possess. Regardless of all the backstory and intrigue, Strong generally does act like a regular super mutant, albeit a super mutant friendly to humans. His card does represent that super mutant rage part you see regularly in game, but not too much more of Strong's personality. It's a strong card nonetheless. The Master, Transcendent. The Master is the primary antagonist in the original Fallout game, released in 1997. The Master is a highly mutated and highly intelligent mutant with the ability to assimilate other creatures into a collective consciousness known as the Unity.
Of course not. Most will be offered a chance to become a mutant.
Those who deny this
opportunity
will be sterilized and
let go. Those that resist will be
executed.
Before becoming the Master, he was originally Richard Gray, a human explorer and friend to Harold, and the pair were exposed to FEV in the Mariposa military base. The FEV exposure transformed him into a mutant with powerful psychic abilities. The Master's ultimate goal is to create a perfect, unified society by assimilating all living beings into the Unity. His card represents this man perfectly. He dumps creatures into a graveyard or into a vat of FEV and pulls out a super mutant. Absolute knockout of a card. The Motherlode, Excavator. The Motherlode is from Fallout 76 and is a mining drill designed for extracting resources. Upon activation, the Motherlode begins moving through the tunnels of Ash Heap, and the players can follow and collect various resources that it uncovers. The quest involves keeping up with the Motherlode and fending off hostile creatures in the process. This card does mine up non-basic lands and clears paths for combat. I think it does fine. It is a mining rig.
Wow! Wow!
The Prydwen, Steel Flagship. The Prydwen is a massive airship in Fallout 4 and serves as the mobile headquarters of the Brotherhood of Steel in the Commonwealth. It is a symbol of the Brotherhood's presence and power in the region. The Prydwen arrives in the Commonwealth under the command of Elder Arthur Maxson, the leader of the Brotherhood of Steel in the region. The Prydwen is equipped with vertibirds, which are advanced aircraft used by the Brotherhood of Steel for transportation and combat, and the Prydwen is notable for being the location in which the player interacts with key Brotherhood characters such as Elder Maxson, Paladin Nance, among others. The Prydwen's card deploys Brotherhood Knights and is a formidable threat in the air, and I think that's about all it really needed to be. The Wise Mothman. The Wise Mothman is a cryptid creature in Fallout 76 and is part of the real-life Appalachian folklore and Mothman mythos present in the game. Fallout 76 introduces various mutated creatures inspired by the local legends, and the Wise Mothman is one such variant of the Mothman. Players may encounter the Wise Mothman while exploring the Appalachian wasteland in Fallout 76. Unlike other Mothman variants, the Wise Mothman is considered a friendly entity. Encountering the Wise Mothman can trigger a special event called Wise Mothman Visit. During the event, players may experience various effects such as increased XP gain or temporary buff to their abilities. This card really don't do none of that, so I'm going to give this one a big old fail, but it is absolutely going in my Mimeoplasm deck, so at least there's that. 3 Dog, Galaxy News DJ. 3 Dog, real name Margaret, is a character from Fallout 3. He is the charismatic and energetic radio host of Galaxy News Radio, broadcasting from the ruins of DC National Archives.
Wake up, Wasteland! It's me, 3 Dog, bringing you all the music and news your little hearts can handle.
Galaxy News Radio provides commentary, news, and music to the inhabitants while supporting the efforts to fight the good fight against malevolent forces of the Capital Wasteland. His ability to sack an aura and share its abilities feels emblematic of his ability to get news and spread it around. This is another fire commander that I may build one day for the channel, because I don't know, this is great, honestly. Love this card. Overseer of Vault 76. The Vault 76 Overseer is the former leader of Vault 76. In 2102, she left the vault prior to Reclamation Day on a mission from Vault Tech, leaving her vault dwellers to figure out how to survive the Appalachian wasteland on their own. In 2103, she returned to unite the dwellers of her vault. Her two main goals were to help the dwellers find a way to create a widespread vaccine against the Scorched Plague, and to establish a new currency which could lead to the progression of a new order to help maintain the peace in the wasteland.
Pretty crazy out there, huh? I know we have a lot to catch up on.
The common consensus online seems to be that she is a rather disliked character, which is a shame because her art and ability are both evocative of her character to a T, at least as far as the research I did would suggest, and she is definitely a fun build-around commander. Veronica, Dissident Scribe.
I'm Veronica. I live in a hole in the ground. Well, a bunker, if you want to get technical. I think it sounds more interesting my way.
Veronica Santangelo is a companion from Fallout New Vegas. She's a Brotherhood of Steel scribe who wants to travel the Mojave Wasteland with the player to learn more about it. As a scribe for the Brotherhood of Steel, she is responsible for recording and preserving knowledge about advanced technology and hoarding it like her fellow Brotherhood members. Despite her commitment to the Brotherhood, Veronica becomes frustrated with the organization's isolationist policies and reluctance to adapt or form alliances.
We'll die out.
I know.
Come on. I can't listen to this anymore.
Veronica is voiced by Felicia Day, and fun fact about Veronica, she carries around sporks. This is a reference to Felicia Day, who was Penny in Dr. Horrible sing-along blog. In the series, Penny eats frozen yogurt with a spork. Veronica is a really good fighter, and this is well represented by her abilities and her power toughness. If her junk token is not a spork, I'm gonna be very mad. Good card though. Yes Man, Personal Securitron.
I really admire how you stack the odds against yourself. Yeah, make things challenging. It's great, really, yeah. So, anyway.
Yes Man is a robot in Fallout New Vegas. He's a Securitron robot with a unique personality and programming that allows him to be reprogrammed by anyone, granting them control over him. He's designed to be compliant and helpful, hence the name Yes Man. Players can work with Yes Man to pursue an independent path for the Mojave Wasteland, free from the influence of other factions, and he's usually called upon by players who mess up the other possible endings. His card design is flawless, showing off his ability to work for anyone, and how he got stronger after the character Benny had already started a plan with Yes Man before the player interacts with him. Very cool. So that's every character in the Fallout Universe Beyond crossover explained, with the exception of 4. Those being Agent Frank Horrigan, Craig Boone, Novac Guard, Marcus, Mutant Mayor, and Sean, Father of Synths. In upcoming videos, I'll be diving much deeper into the remaining characters and giving them their own commander decks. However, I do want to give a brief synopsis of all 4 just for completion's sake. Agent Frank Horrigan. Agent Frank Horrigan is from Fallout 2. Horrigan is a genetically enhanced and cybernetically augmented human, and he plays a key role in the Enclave's effort to exert control over the post-apocalyptic wasteland. Craig Boone, Novac Guard. Craig Boone is from Fallout New Vegas. He's a former NCR 1st Recon sharpshooter and a possible companion for the player. Marcus, Mutant Mayor. Marcus is a super mutant who first appears in Fallout 2 and later makes an additional appearance in Fallout New Vegas. Sean, Father of Synths. Sean is from Fallout 4. He is the biological son of the player character and is also known as Father. Confusingly enough, Sean grew up to be the leader of the Institute. Without going over each individual card, I think it's pretty obvious that I find these cards to have remarkable flavor, and that's basically why I'm building around them. And that is it. That is every legend explained, all 54. If any more get announced in a secret layers coming up, because I know we're having 3 Fallout secret layers come up, I will make follow-up videos to this. Hopefully they all get announced at once so I can make that one long video. But otherwise, yeah, that is it. This one was a lot of work, but absolutely my favorite video to make in a long time. Fallout is my favorite franchise. I've been playing it just as long as I've been playing Magic, and they have both been in my life just as consistently. So this is a dream crossover, and I'm glad to be able to explain all the Fallout characters to you. Like I said, in the end, I'll be working on 4 commander decks for each of the 4 remaining legendary characters that I didn't go really deep into. It's either going to be Craig Boone first or Agent Agent Frank Horgan, so if you have a preference, let me know in the comments. Hopefully next week we'll have a Fallout Collector Booster Box on opening. Still waiting on confirmation on that, but otherwise, if you liked the video and learned anything, a like and subscribe would be much appreciated. And if you want to share with your friends who want to get into Fallout or they want to get into the universes beyond Fallout, I'd appreciate that as well. And I've been Courier 6 for the Kaladesh Express, your #1 source for Universes Beyond, and I hope you have a fantastic day.
Okay, the time is finally upon us. We will march to Hoover Dam. Once we have taken the dam, New Vegas will fall. I feel like you just agreed with me, but you weren't listening to what I was saying.
Yes.
Where is the burned man?
Where's Joshua Brand?
I survived
Where is
the
Joshua
fire
Brand?
inside,
Where is
right
he?
in the
Where
fire
is he?
around me. I fell down to that dark chasm.